Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. Those are my friends at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today's the Crochet Granny Stitch Blanket. Now this particular blanket, the reason why I'm filming it is that the way that the edges are different from other types of Granny Stitch blankets that we've done. So I want to film this today. If you would like to change the size, it's in multiples of 4 plus 3. So you go 4, 4, 4. When you're happy with the width, just add 3 more and you will have the balance to be able to do this. This is using Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing with an 8mm size L crochet hook. So the concept of this blanket is that you work from the center and you go outward, and then next ball you go from the outward working your way in. And what this is doing is it's transitioning seamlessly. So when you get to the white area here, this is one ball. We start from the outside going in, you end up with the dark, and etc. all the way through this. This takes 8 balls in order to do this, and I think it's really quite an awesome time. Let's begin to do this, and let's start right now. So you can either chain 103 or you can do the multiples of 4 plus 3. So that's what I'm going to do, is the multiples. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Big enough, yes or no? If not, keep on going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say I'm happy with the width of my blanket. I added 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. So you can either chain 103 or do your multiples of 4 plus 3. Let's begin our first row. To begin our first row, we are going to go 8th chain from the hook. So we want to count back right underneath the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Normally I would tell you to go on the back hump of the chain if you followed me in the past, but because it's Bernat Blanket, I'm suggesting that you don't. So wrap the hook and going into the 8th one all the way over here. So when you go in, make sure that there's 2 strands that will stay on the top for the chain, and there's only 1 at the base. So then pull through, and you'll pull through 2 and 2, and then double crochet 2 more times into the same chain work. You're now going to skip just 3 chains. So coming back down on the chain, so we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's easier to see in person, but before you do that, make sure you chain 1 first, and then just skipping the 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, and put in 3 more double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1, and then skipping the next 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th, and you're doing this all the way across. So just put me on pause, and we'll recap at the end of this in just a moment. So we're coming near to the end of the chain, so you want to chain 1 when you finish this grouping of 3, and you're going to go right into the very last one. So you're going to skip over the 2, 1 and 2, go right into the last one, and just double crochet. Even if you're off by 1, it really doesn't matter so much. Here you can always make it or fake it or right, and be able to do that. So you got to let yourself off the hook sometimes when you make mistakes. So therefore you have what appears to be row number 1. Let's turn our work and do row number 2. So row number 2 is different from what we're normally used to. So this is a nice easy way of doing it. So you just chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's your first double crochet, and the other 2 double crochets has to go right into this big space here. So we're going to put 2 double crochets in there. So now everything is about space work. So that technically equals 3 if you want to be really technical about it. Chain 1 before you jump, and then jump into the next big space after this group. And you're going to put 3 double crochet in. So you're going to get a sense that this thing crochets really quickly, because it does. And don't forget to chain 1 after it, and then go into the next space. And you're going to do this all the way across for this row number 2, and I'll show you how to finish it in just a sec. So put me on pause. And for those that are ready for the very ending, right into this last space, you were going to put in 3 double crochet. If you feel better, just put in 2 and just put in right into the chain work itself, the third one, if you want to hold it out to the edge like that, and therefore that won't shift. And so that's something that you can decide to do, and it will keep a nice equal balance as well. So either put 3 into the final space, or you can just put in 2 and 1 right into the final chain work. You decide. Let me know in the comments of what you decided though. Turn your work and let's do row number 3. Okay, rows number 3 and 4 are going to be the repeating for the entire blanket now to the end. So row number 3, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and that's your first double crochet, and the fourth one is a chain 1 space. Remember that. You're going to come right into this next big space right over here, and you're going to place in your 3 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3, followed by a chain 1, and then jump to your next space. It's exactly what you know. So it's just the endings and the starting and the endings that are really different. Everything else in between is the same. So just chain up 1 and then just move on over. So put me on pause, and then I'll cover how to finish this row in a moment. For those that are ready for the ending, after this grouping of 3, chain 1, and right in the top of this turning chain right here, right in this chain, just single crochet right into the chain work. Don't go into a space, go right into the chain, and that will hold that right out like that. And let's turn our work and do row number 4. So row number 4, you're going to start off, you're going to chain 4. Row number 4 is the same as row number 2, so just chain up 3, and in this space put in 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2, and then chain 1, and then come to your next space and put 3 double crochet in. So with the Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing, you're going to see that the yarn is going to transition color on its own, and you'll be fascinated with how that's going to work out. So chain 1 after that group and keep moving across. So put me on pause now, and I'll show you how to finish this row in just a moment. For those that are ready for the finishing, you're going to chain up 1. It says to put 3 double crochets like it did here into the space, but I'm going to suggest you just put 2. I'm allowed to give suggestions, and then put the third one into the chain work itself, and that will hold that out to the edge. Okay, so you can decide what you'd like to do. So you're going to repeat then rows number 3 and 4 until you're happy, and it will measure about 60 inches, and then I'm going to cover it and show you how to do the border next. When you're ready for the border and you're ending on a 4th row, you're going to turn it around, and you're going to get ready for your very ending. So the border will go all the way around this thing. So right where you're sitting, you're going to chain up 1, and right in the peak here, you're going to put in a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet, and that will help turn the work. So now you're just going to equally space out your single crochets across. Okay, so you just keep on going. So if there's a chain 1 space, just fill in the chain 1 space, and you're going to do this all the way across. So on the top and the bottom piece, top and the bottom, you are going to be very easy to see the stitches, but on the side pieces, what you need to do is look at the distance of what you're doing right now, and you just have to match that distance on the side when you go down the side. So it's a guess. So as soon as you see it buckling, you know it's wrong. So the top of this turning chain, you're going to turn, so you're going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then go down the side edge. So look at the distance of the spacing and just roughly go into some chain work. And you're just going to single crochet down. So always try to stay within chain work. If you go right around a whole space, it kind of separates it from the work. So if it's starting to buckle, meaning go like this, it means that you're going too quickly. And if it's starting to create a ruffle, it means that you're going too slow. So you have to get used to the distance and figure out what that mathematical formulation is. So on the very last one here, you're going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then you're going to work along the bottom edge. So I would go right into the stitch work itself. So you have 3 chains that were in between the grouping, if you remember. And so then you'll do one at the base. So when you get to the last one, you'll do your single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then you'll continue up, and that's where I'm going to meet you in just a few moments from now. So I'm coming all the way around, and I'm just going to slip stitch it to the first single crochet. So now I'm going to slip stitch myself to a corner, which is a chain 1 space, and I'm going to chain 1 and put 3 single crochets into that chain 1 space. So every chain 1 space in the corner is going to get 3 singles, and just following it around, every one of the single crochets now are just going to get a single crochet, and just follow this completely around for this second round for the border, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming all the way back around, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning. If you would like to try something else, just trim your yarn before you do the slip stitch. This is a neat way of doing it as well. And just pull this loop through. So I have not attached it yet. So what I would think about doing is that you're going to grab a tapestry needle, and I want you to come in to the first stitch from the back side. So come in, instead of using your hook to go through there, use your needle and come back towards you. And where this is coming out, I know it's hard to tell on camera, I'm going out through the center, and I'm just going to pull this out, and I'm going to pull it through. So this is a way of getting, especially with thick yarn, a nice flat edge, and then you're going to turn it to the back of the project and just allow it to tie itself into a little knot, because then it's impossible to kind of come out. So once that's in as a little knot, you're just going to weave it through. Don't go to the front of the project, so you should not see that needle on the front. Go through once. And don't be scared to go right through the yarn piece, or like through the strand itself. And go back and forth a total of 3 times. And then you can safely cut that. So any loose ends that you'll have, that's the best way to handle this yarn. And so then you can just lay it out and stretch it out. And this is a neat idea. And this here is the granny stitch blanket.